Joined now by CBN's Brody Carter, who has been in Florida all day reporting on Hurricane Ian. And man, some of the footage we're seeing, Brody, it's looking very strong, very devastating. What have you seen today?
Well, we started the day out in Tampa. My hotel is here in Orlando. We made a trip out there 4:30 in the morning, drove out to the West Coast to watch the storm roll in. And really, it was a ghost town. The only people that were there were reporters like myself. All the windows were just blacked out. That's because nobody was there. Everybody was heeding the warning, get out of town. And thankfully, a majority of people did. However, that's not to say that there wasn't a guy training for a marathon whose hand I shook and had a chance to talk to some passerbys who said they're going to hunker down. Their windows are strong enough, is what they told me. And we just really got a feel for them and pray that they had enough provisions as well as the safety and structural integrity to withstand a hurricane that was flirting with Category 5. I mean, just the power is immense. Looking at this footage, it just breaks my heart.
Yeah, it is devastating stuff. And not only the winds, Brody, but when these types of storms come through Florida, particularly on the Gulf side, you know, when you have the bay there, these storm surges and just the amount of rain provides a huge problem with potential flooding.
Oh, most definitely. I was watching, actually just right off of the bay, watching in a local river that was dipping into the bay, being sucked out. All the water was being sucked out of the river through the bay. All the water in the bay was sucked out until it was bone dry. And then that came back with a vengeance. You're looking at storm surge that is, I'm not a meteorologist, but I want to say unprecedented. This is scary stuff.
Very scary stuff. And where is the storm in relation to you right now? I know as we're talking, it has made landfall not too long ago. You're in Orlando, the Orlando area. So what is kind of the atmosphere like where you're at?
Yeah, wind and rain for sure. And it's oscillating. It comes in waves. Early this morning, the wind would really just whip through and the rain would hit you in the side of the face. And then it would stop for a little while. And then it would build back in intensity. And that seemed to be the play of this hurricane until obviously it made landfall and caused this devastation that you're looking at right now. So, yeah, it was just an opportunity to see how powerful nature is and how important it is to heed the warnings. If they're telling you get out of town because it is the storm surge. You're seeing plus 12-foot storm surge, that water being sucked out of the bay and then dumped right back in, happening all along the western seaboard of Florida. I mean, man, that's some scary stuff. And then that's not even it. It's torrential downpour. It's the flooding. It's the tornadoes that are popping up, warnings and watches. So this is a bag of chaos, and I'm not looking forward to it hitting Orlando, which will be, I'm thinking 8 o'clock in the morning is what they're forecasting. So we've got everything charged up, all of our portable electronics, they're currently being charged up. We filled up our water bottles, and they said expect a power outage for sure.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to ask next, is about these power outages, because that also adds to the complication of dealing with these things is when you don't have power. I mean, what do you do when you're trying to manage all the damage, when you're trying to manage everything, and there's no power? So I'm assuming they're expecting some widespread power outages as well.
Well, yeah, that, and then the flooding as well. So when we're talking power outages, I think more than 600,000 people are in the dark right now. Some people have been told that there might not be power restored to hard-to-reach areas for more than a month. That's crazy. And then in addition to that, we're talking power outages and what? Storm surge? Is that what your second question was?
Yeah, just the storm surges, the power outages, the flooding, all of that stuff, huge concern. But you're saying that it looks like most people have actually heeded the warning. I think that's actually a very good sign, because a lot of times people think that these officials are actually overblowing it just to be over safe. And so they'll just say, hey, you know what, I'm just going to hunker down and I'm going to ride it out. So from what you're seeing, it looks like a lot of people have gotten out of there.
Well, yeah, for sure. The hotel that I'm staying at hooked up solid, and it's mostly families who've come from the West Coast. So I had a chance to shake hands with families and hear some really tragic stories about how they waited and waited, and they thought it's not going to be that bad until it was almost too late, and they just escaped with their lives. And it's just tragic to hear these people sitting, watching and waiting the news, because that's the only thing that's playing here at the hotel right now is the news, the Weather Channel, following what's happening and wondering, is my home still there?
Yeah, I mean, life changing, changing things for sure. A lot of these families are facing, and we continue, of course, to pray that everyone's safe. Now, I know you talked to Operation Blessing, and they are preparing. Obviously, they're going to wait until the worst is gone through. But what are the types of things that they're getting ready for to get into action on once things are safe to go back out?
Yeah, most definitely. Ocala has a warehouse. I'm sorry, they've got a warehouse in Ocala. That's about an hour and a half from Tampa, and then 2.5 hours from where I'm at here in Orlando, kind of in the center. It's the triangle. And we're going to be making our way back and forth with them, touching base as they gear up to help people once this storm fully gets through. But yeah, they've got 2 trucks that have the capabilities to help with rebuilding damaged facilities, damaged homes. They also have trucks that have brought in the aid that will help them at least get through this one day at a time. And so they're going to be handing out meal preps and also tarps and those Home Depot buckets with deep cleaning supplies. It's the fact that they're going into the belly of the beast blows my mind. And it's every time too. So they're going to be talking to these pastors where the heaviest hit areas are, and then they're going to make their decision and jump. And I know a lot of people are going to be grateful when they see Operation Blessing showing up.
Yeah, you're 100% right. They are always there, right in the middle of these most hard-hit areas in natural disasters, other tragedies that happen, and they do a great job. And if you want to help, you can't be there in Florida, maybe helping Africans, and you want to help, and you're somewhere else, go to ob.org. Go ahead and donate to the first responding efforts, and your contribution will go directly towards helping people who are impacted by this storm. So Brody, hey, I know you've had a busy day. I'm going to let you go, but I really appreciate you stopping by, shedding some light on this for us and for all of the CBN audience. And we continue to pray for you that you stay safe, because it's a tough job being out there, having to report all this stuff. It's grueling and obviously dangerous work. So praying for you, and we appreciate you, and stay safe.
Thanks, brother. Thanks for having me on.